Michael Zaire Show. Today's date is February 24th, 2023, coming to you from the Rising Eagle Studios here in the Warrior Healing Center. I dropped the part where we're coming to you live because I'm hoping we're live, right? We don't want to be broadcasting this deceased. So today my special guest veteran is Michelle Mitzner.
Hello.
Michelle, thank you so much for coming in and sitting down with me this morning and talking with us. Michelle has a presence here at the Warrior Healing Center, as well as her service to our country. And so we'll get into a little bit about everything Michelle today. Find out what's going on and what makes you tick and all the great things that you do for our veterans and community and everything. So first off, good morning, Laird. Thank you for joining us, brother. It's I forgot to tell you that. One thing is really neat when we're doing the interviews, when people interact with us, they can ask us questions.
Oh, okay.
And then I can pop it right up on the screen and then we can answer their questions. So thank you for joining us, Laird. So Michelle, where were you born, raised? Where was home? Where did your story begin?
I was born in Ironton, Ohio, and then I was adopted by my aunt, who was actually one of the first females that was in Camp Casey, Korea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then her fourth husband, who I call my dad, adopted me, and he was a retired first sergeant from the 101st at Fort Campbell.
A lot of military history already we're getting into.
Yeah, I was, and my maternal and paternal grandparents both served in the military. I think one of them we went back to World War II, and then we had the Waller, which is my birth name, actually goes back to the Civil War. We just found that out in the last year or so.
So you traced your ancestry? Mm-hmm. Isn't that neat how you can do that? And
yeah.
I've interviewed quite a few veterans whose service to our country goes back to the Civil War, and it's amazing the lineage and the stories that they have to tell, and in order to be able to tell the story, I mean, you would need days because for each veteran, because there's just so much.
Our family history like, for the Wallers is like this long. The actual packet when we printed it out. So I'm an Army brat. I was raised all over, and then so I went into the military at 20.
Where was high school at?
I went to 3 different high schools.
Oh, okay.
I went to 9th grade in Cedar Hill, Tennessee, and then I went to 10th and 11th grade in Key West, Florida, which I absolutely loved after my daddy retired. And then I came back to Clarksville High School, where Fort Campbell is, and I graduated at Clarksville, so I was all over.
And is that where you were living then after you got out? Is that where you went in after when you enlisted?
I enlisted in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay. And when you enlisted, what year was that?
It was in 1987, and then I was waiting for a placement. I was supposed to go in the Marine Corps. Okay. And then I was waiting for the waiver because I was like solid muscle, but I was over the weight. So they made me take a picture in a bikini, take the tape test, and I was waiting because I was
They did that? Really?
Yes. And I was supposed to, I didn't have an ounce of fat on me, too. And I was supposed to go to the Defense Language Institute. That's where I was supposed to go because my ASVAB scores. And I had to leave because of some problems at home. You know, my father had PTSD, a lot of issues at home. And so I went in to check, and the Air Force is like, we can get you out of here in 2 weeks. So they signed me up, and so I ended up going in the Air Force shortly after that. And
where did you go for your training? Was that at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas?
Lackland for basic, and then security police at the time. I guess now they cram everything under one banner, law enforcement, security, they're interchangeable. Back then, it was either security police or law enforcement.
So you were law enforcement as well?
Correct.
So many people that I've interviewed have gone from the military and gone into law enforcement, like Dan Shaw, Andy Van Veen, our current sheriff, Sheriff Daniels. So there's quite a bit of that connection between serving in the military and then going into law enforcement. And you chose law enforcement in the Air Force. So what was your first duty station? Where did you go?
In Slick Turkey.
Turkey?
Yep.
Okay, tell us about that.
So I spent my time humping around a C-130, and then I spent half of the time